Hello there, my name is Richard looking to talk about animation, and today we'll do a segment that I call Cartoon Breaking News. In this segment, I just talk about sort of news articles of cartoons, telling you what happened, what's new, what's got cancelled in the subject of animation. Of course, it being not political, only if the cartoon is trying to be political. I try not to talk about that much as Brittany mentioned it, of course, we have about 3 to 4 segments. The first one would be Gary Demon got Season 2, a new cartoon from Comedy Central called Digman. You also have another new cartoon coming soon called A Roy Cracker from Adult Swim, and the first images of Adventure Brothers, the movie to end all series. And then let's start with the first one. Gary and his demons, the article from AW and called an Animation World Network. And this article basically states what happened and why it took so long to get a season 2 of Gary. Well, it's a small explanation. I reread the whole thing. It's basically they're kind of running out of funds that the people who they actually work with, they just ran out of money, and this is the reason why they couldn't do season 2. Even that, this series was actually popular. Not a huge one, you could say sort of a cult classic, specifically more for anime fans, sort of accidental because it was in a website called Verb. Verb is basically a carry other different web series together and sell you as a package, and that's what Gary was at the very beginning. But later on, got picked up from Comedy Central. We showed the whole season. But at the same time, Comedy Central wasn't fully interesting, even was sort of successful. But because of patience and time, and the creator Little always being stubborn, not giving up, he actually got a season 2 from Amazon Prime, specifically in Canada. So because of this, now they sort of excited to continue Gary's story. But I love it. It's sort of this kind of statement. This article sort of states that Little, the creator, was sort of trying to make this actually work. Not because it's terrible, it's the fact it's just funding. I mean, this whole article just explains perfectly is that if you make a cartoon, even if it's successful, doesn't mean you get more money making a season 2 or anything collapse. It's something I really recommend reading yourself because it just go into detail. It's sort of amazing. But because Little was sort of stubborn, he never gave up. In fact, it took him about 4 years, the last run of the original series, to make a season 2. It's sort of like a miracle. Of course, the series is sort of unique and different. If you've never heard of it, Gary the Demon is basically a character called Gary who is the chosen one to save the world. But the only problem is, Gary getting too old, is about time to actually retire, and the company he worked with will want him to retire. But the only problem is, they cannot make him retire because they not found a replacing chosen one. And that's basically all the humor in this series. The sort of awkwardness, the sort of kind of office in a way, selfish type of humor, sort of ridiculous, but at the same time it just works so well. Something I really highly recommend watch season 2. Of course, if you want to wait to season 2 to come out, go watch on Amazon Prime. There still is the first season, but besides that, it's something that's just glad it got season 2. It just took too long to come out. Usually that's the problem in animation. But at the very end, it will be successful once again. Of course, Little does state in this article that it will be small changes because season 1 is sort of sad, kind of nihilistic. Season 2 will be uplifting. So you can see what happens to Gary and his friends and their co-workers, what actually happened to him in between the 2 seasons that took long to create it. But besides that, I'm hyped. I don't know you. Now let's talk about the second segment from today, from Pace, talking about Veteran Brothers sort of update and the first images of the final movie to end Venture Brothers. Of course, you never heard of Venture Brothers. This is a small explanation. Basically, Venture Brothers is parody of Johnny Quest, but after 2 seasons, it becomes something completely unique and different. Instead of being a homage of Johnny Quest, it became its own thing. But after 8 seasons got canceled, everybody thought this series is ended well at season finale. But luckily for us, Warner Bros. Give us one more movie to end the whole series. And for right now, the updates, it basically seems everything almost done. The recording, the audio. For right now, they're just doing pro post. In other words, that basically means they just putting sound effects, doing the intro. They finish everything, but still have little things here there to make it good, like the audio, because they uses the movie. The audio must be very well made, something to feel clear and perfect of the sound of the person moving, punching, or just music. Of course, they're asking fans what type of special features you want in the movie, and Dark Hammer just put it down on a list to see what they can actually do. But besides that, the article is basically guessing. I mean, probably come out of maybe this year because in the post. But once more, setting up everything, he also making commercials takes a little while. So I'm guessing, at least in my opinion, 2024, not 2023. It makes sense in by next year, but the article says they're guessing on this year. And are you hyped? You're just ready for this film? I am. Now I got really nothing else to say. Just let's talk about the next segment from NWN. That this is basically showing the new trailer and sort of semi talking about what this trailer is. A new anime series called Dugman. Dugman is the same creators of Broken Nine-Nine, the same writers, but this time making a new anime series in live action. And this series, you follow a very famous archaeologist who actually is a famous actor, some sort of semi-celebrity who trying to be professional of his new sort of job. But the only problem is he's sort of selfish, self-centered, but sort of crazy. Now, besides that, I watched the trailer, and the trailer seems fun and well made, especially from Comedy Central, because usually every time Comedy Central makes a new cartoon, it's cheap, weird, but never really works. They always try to copy their own homework of South Park. But Duckman feels refreshing, unique, and honest because it's the same people who did Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You've not seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's probably the most funniest cop show you have ever seen. It's sort of honest and truthful. Being a cop, it also kind of calling out officers in the same time. But the very end is all about the comedy. And that's what Brooklyn Nine-Nine was so well made, so beloved and respected. And Dugman seems the same sort of style of running, but being sort of kind of Indiana Jones type of take. And I have to say, I'm very hyped to see this on Comedy Central, coming soon next month on March 22 on Comedy Central. If I have the chance, I'll probably review this in the first or second episode of my first impression on my channel. It doesn't say anything else, it just sort of announcing what this is. I recommend watching the trailer because the trailer is really funny. Now let's talk about our final segment of for the day. The final article will be Animation Magazines talking about the World Cracker will come out on April 2nd on Adult Swim channel. Now, what this article basically just talking about what is basically the plot of the whole show. It's basically this sort of kind of family who runs a small empire of crackers. So the head father figure had sort of a stroke. He's not dead, he just sort of fell into a coma because the kids would not leave him alone and let him rest. Now they rely on the rest of the family to run the whole company. But the only problem is none of the family members know how to run a proper company or have actually experience or understanding or communication with business people. So basically the whole company relies on a miscommunication, selfishness, instead of trying to figure out to survive while their father run the company. And I think the trailer seems promising. Of course, it's from the Adult Swim. That anything you see on Adult Swim will be funny, weird, strange, or my favorite, I just don't get it, but I like the designs. Usually that's sort of emotion you feel every time you see Adult Swim sort of property. But besides that, this trailer seems promising. I don't know, I would like it, but I will give it a chance, at least a first episode. If I do, I probably review it like any other anime series. Of course, You seen this trailer? Do you like it? You feel this actually has good potential? Tell me down below. Let me know. And that's basically all the articles for the day. Now, which are your favorite? Which you have hoping to come up sooner? Tell me down below. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.